Hi guys! Okay, so we don't have any music because we are using all three devices to go live with. And also, we did Taco About It Tuesday. We did taco nachos. So, you guys can still check out the taco song today. We are going to talk about something more serious today. I'm having issues myself today, so I guess we'll start there. As I'm trying to adjust and literally looking at myself on 3 cameras, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, everybody gets a slightly different angle, and I don't think I like any of them. So let's start there, and let's start with, hi, I'm Dori, I don't like how I look. And I don't know if that is, oh, and here we are, I'm like just looking at TikTok and, you know, it's not clicking on, so I don't know why. Oh, okay, so there's something in my description that it's banned. I gave them the same description that I gave you guys on Facebook, so I guess they just won't get one. I said we were going to deal with depression and body dysmorphia, and it's telling me that there are words in there that are bad words, so I guess we'll start again. This has always been an issue for me. I think it was an issue for me when I was bigger. It's definitely an issue for me now. I don't think I ever saw myself realistically. Ever. Like, I spent a lot of time looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, well, that's not what I really look like. I mean, maybe that's what other people see, but that's not really what I look like. I mean, when I was a size 26, it was kind of like a mental filter, kind of like wearing, you know, a Facebook filter, and I kind of smoothed over things. I mean, you would stand in the mirror in such a way, in such an angle, and be like, oh, I look really cute in this outfit. And I would walk by a store and I would catch a glance of myself and I would think, that fat girl's wearing my outfit. Hey, that's me. I'm looking at a reflection of me. And I always had an issue with recognizing myself, what I looked like. And I remember thinking back in the day, now again, Carby Dori was not as nice as Keto Dori is. Don't judge me. I would think things like, oh my God, if I ever get that fat, harpoon me. Like, somebody do me a favor and harpoon me. But I wasn't realistic about what I looked like. And it didn't occur to me until I had a clothes shop. Clothes shopping, I think, was the worst experience possible because I know how to stretch an extra large to be a 4X and not have to go clothes shopping. I have elbows and knees. I know how to just stretch that stuff. And when you actually had to go shopping, or in my head, I would think I had all these super cute outfits. You know, you're getting ready to go somewhere and you're thinking of the perfect outfit in your head that doesn't really exist in reality. So you're ripping apart your closet and wrecking everything because it doesn't look like you think it should look. And I find now I have just as much issue with it. I think I'm still the mental weight that I always was, which in my head was probably a size 14. You know, mentally, I think I was always somewhere around the 175. Size 14 was kind of how I always saw myself, whether I was bigger than that or smaller than that. When I look at my pictures now, or I watch video, which is terrible when I have to edit, I'm going to tell you guys the honest truth. It's terrible because now I focus on all of the bad things. Like right now, I'm watching myself talk, and on Facebook, I'm like, what's up with that? I'm not seeing it so much on Instagram. TikTok gets a totally different view. But it's so easy to be hyper critical and think, oh, well, you know, I look old because I have this, or, you know, and it's only certain angles. So I've had a really hard time adjusting to, that's just what I look like. That's just what I look like. KetoCon was a huge lesson for me, and I will say that I've posted most of my pictures so far, not all of them. Man, I still have lots to post. Forgive me, it takes forever. But I will say I've posted probably 50 pictures of myself, and I like maybe 6 of them. And that's the reality of it. But I realize that I have to stop not taking pictures because I don't like how I look in them. You know, I can't censor every part of my life based on, was I making the right expression? Did I happen to be holding my stomach the right way? Oh my goodness, you can see, you know, my chin wobble in that picture. I hate it. And I realized that I spent a lot of my life taking pictures from people. Like, if they took a picture of me and I didn't like it, I made them give it up. And back in the day, we used to have negatives and you could reprint stuff, and I would take those too because I didn't like how I looked in them. And now when I look back for my pre-weight loss journey pictures, guess what? I don't have any. Do you guys? Because I've got like 5 pictures of me ever, because I didn't let anybody take them. And I've realized that it doesn't really matter if I like how I look in a picture. I'm never going to like how I look in a picture. I'm always going to be hypercritical. And at the end of the day, the people who love me, who are living my life with me, who are in the picture, love me just the way that I am. They don't care if, you know, I happen to be angled in such a way that's not attractive to me. And I think the way that we get over hating the way that we look in pictures is just accepting that, you know what, that is what it is. I spent a lot of time explaining away pictures before. I mean, the camera adds 10 pounds. How many cameras do you have on me, paparazzi? I had every reason in the world for why I didn't like my pictures and why nobody could see those pictures of me either, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I wish I had those pictures. I wish I had pictures with my son when he was little, and I don't. I don't. And I don't get to look back on them. My family doesn't get to look back on them. I mean, heck, I started doing that in junior high school. I would like take pictures from my friends. Oh, no, I don't like that picture of me. Yoink. And you rip it up as they're like horrified. They're like, you look nice. No, I don't. I look stupid. I look stupid in that picture. No, you may not have a stupid looking picture of me. No. So I feel like it really, the way to start accepting is just to take a lot of pictures and just accepting them. Whether I love how they look or not, I just go, yeah, yeah, I guess that's what I look like. When I watch my videos now, when I edit them, I don't honestly feel connected to this. Like, and I know that probably sounds weird to some of you. If you're there, you get it without me explaining. I watch my videos and I think, wow, I love that girl. She's a lot of fun. We would totally be best friends, but I don't watch them and think, oh, that's me. I like that expression on my face, or I don't like that expression on my face. I honestly feel like I'm watching somebody else and hanging out with somebody else when I edit my videos. And sometimes I'm like, wow, she's a lot of fun. And sometimes I'm like, wow, she's really irritating. Which I suppose is what my family sees when they scowl. And I'm like, yeah, you just don't understand. It's awesome. Like, clearly, I mean, if I had to explain awesomeness to you, then you just don't get it. Sherry says, I know what you mean. Honestly, I wouldn't take pictures of myself for 2 reasons. My weight and my teeth. Now my teeth are fixed and I take pictures of my face, but not my whole body. We do that too, right? We do that. If I take group shots, I'm hiding behind somebody else. I had a child. I was able to hide behind him for almost every single picture for the last 21 years. Like, oh, look at how cute my child is. I'll just stand right behind him and nobody will notice me. Crystal says, so true, I didn't take pictures either, and looking back, I missed all the good days without the wrinkles and the gray hair. Like, right? Right? How much are you kicking yourself now? Like, you could have had hottie patati pictures from like 20 years ago, and now you'd be like, dang, look at me go. And back then you were like, oh, no, I look fat in that one. And I'll tell you what, like, I look back to when I was a teenager and I thought I was fat, and I was like, dang, I wish I was fat like that. When you're young and everything is still, you know, it's kind of perky and where it's all supposed to could have been, you know, and you didn't really enjoy that stuff. I mean, when I was 15, I remember thinking I was fat. And then I was 36, 24, 36. I just was 15 and I didn't appreciate, you know, a grown-up body. And I was like, oh, well, all the girls around me are size 2 and super skinny, therefore that makes me fat. And I wasn't fat. I mean, for a lot of the years that I felt like I was fat, I liken it this way. And I say, when I was fat, I thought I was thin. And now that I'm thin, I still feel like I'm fat. I mean, I still walk right to the plus size section of the clothing. I don't know why. I never liked shopping in the plus size clothing to begin with, because I was like, well, I'm, you know, fat, not old. I want to dress like other 20-year-olds and have fun clothes. I don't want everything with, you know, big giant prints that my grandma wouldn't even wear. And I still, like, walk right in, head over to the plus section, start perusing, and go, well, nothing over here fits me. And now there's cute clothes, like, hello. Isn't that like when you have a baby and there's never any cute clothes when your kid is little, and now all the awesome clothes are, and you're like, boo. I mean, I'm not going to have another baby just to have cool clothes, but boo. So for me, that one is huge. It's a struggle every day, and it's something that I'm working on. So if you guys are struggling with it too, I say, let's talk about it. Let's make an effort to take more pictures, because I struggle as well. Like, I struggle. Even all the pictures you guys see me post, I don't ever think to take progress pictures or pictures of myself. I will come across something and be like, oh, well, I had that one from before, but I don't regularly take progress pictures. I don't even once a month take pictures. And I really feel like we should be doing that, you know, once a month, once every couple of months, just to get an idea of where we look different. I mean, I look at my old pictures of me at 290 pounds and I think I don't really look different. I look the same to me. And I show them to people and they're like, oh my God, you don't even look like the same person. That doesn't even look like you. And I think I kind of look the same. Like, in a really weird, bizarre way. I just feel like I look the same. So let's talk a little bit about depression, because keto is something that has really, really, really helped me with my severe depression issues. And I never knew that it would. I found keto by accident, and I didn't know all of the other benefits that I would reap from eating a keto diet. So let's start there and say that I was diagnosed in my very early 20s. I'm going to say I was probably about 23. My son was small and I was diagnosed with severe depressive disorder. They used to call that dysthymia, but basically it's a low-grade, non-curable depression is how my doctor explained it to me. You don't get the manic highs and lows that you do with a bipolar depression. It's just kind of like being almost always depressed all of the time. You kind of like being Linus and just walking around with a cloud. And Even in happy times, you're not really happy. In sad times, you're sad. There are deep depressions, but generally it's just a feeling of sadness and being unwell. And in my early 20s, I was told that that was just my life. That was it. That was how my brain functioned. It's not a chemical imbalance. So for severe periods of depression, I can take medication and it may help. But long term, the kind of depression that I suffer from is not treatable by medication. It's just part of who I am. And I had to learn coping mechanisms. And I think for a lot of us, depression stems from lack of coping mechanisms. We don't know how to deal with stress and anxiety and all of these things that seem to pile on you at once, because it's never just one thing. Like, especially if you're dealing with situational depression. And there's a lot of different kinds of depression. Some things are induced by, a work or a relationship or a situation that you're in. When you're out of that situation, that depression goes away. That's situational. If you're having a hard time, you've lost a family member, when you process that and you get over it, it goes away. But this kind of depression just sticks with you. It's just there all of the time and in varying degrees. It's like having a headache all of the time. Sometimes it hurts more, sometimes it hurts less, but it's always kind of there. And that was pretty much me my whole life. My mom remembers periods of depression in me as young as 3. So I mean, a depressed toddler. Like, when I used to ask my mom about what that was like as a kid, she would tell me her favorite story of me when I was little, and she would ask me why I was always late. Like, why am I always late coming home from school? And I seem to always make it there on time. Like, I don't really understand. If you have enough time to get there in the morning, how are you coming home? It's taking you like forever to get home. And I was 4, 5 years old, and I explained to her that when you're really happy, you skip and you dance and you get places really fast. But when you're sad, you just walk slow and you shuffle your feet, and it takes a really long time to get there. So in kids, those are symptoms of depression. I mean, we might not recognize those as triggers, but we don't expect kids to be depressed, right? Like, I'm made of rubber, you're made of glue, and kids just bounce back. I remember when Isaac was small, and I was having a conversation with his father about continually breaking appointments, like not showing up, not making arrangements, not being there when he said he was going to be there. And I said, these things matter. Like, every time that you do one of these things to him, it impacts him. And his dad said, "Oh, Dori, you're so silly. Like, kids aren't like that. They just, nothing affects kids." Okay. Like, all right. You're right. It probably doesn't, bother him at all. Like, so we do have to take that into account. For a lot of us, this is not a new thing. Depression, anxiety, dealing with what our bodies look like, having a realistic image of ourselves. For most of us, this isn't new. It's just something that we're coming to terms with now in weight loss. And it's jarring. I won't lie to you. Some days it's really, really stressful. Some days you will wake up and you will look at yourself in the mirror and you will just cry. Like, you will just cry and think that's not me. That's not what I look like. I mean, I didn't lose all this weight to have, this and this, and, why can't I just like everything about myself? And it starts with accepting one thing about yourself first, and just accepting that that is the reality. Whether I like how I look or not, it is the reality. And I think that to wrap my brain around that's step 1. So whoever wants to join me in step one, we're gonna take more pictures, and we're just going to accept that it is what it is. You know what? I am not a model. I do not have a lighting crew on me. I did not have my hair or makeup prepared. I am not going to be perfect in every picture that everyone takes of me, and that's okay. It's okay. Because when I look at pictures of my mom, I don't look at them and think, oh, I really wish she was covering up her arms in that picture. That's terrible. Like, I want you to think about that for a moment. And I want you to think, have you ever looked at a picture of your mother, your grandmother, your friend in childhood and think, ooh, oh, I can't believe they let somebody, that was a bad look, by the way. I caught that one. But have you ever thought that when flipping through a family album? So people aren't judging you the way that you are judging you. And I think at the end of the day, it's us. It's not everyone around us. So I love you guys. I hope that in some way this helps you if you're struggling. And if you are, reach out and let's figure it out together. One day at a time, one step at a time, one terrible selfie at a time. Because I'm going to tell you this, my selfie game is not tight. Like, I am not rocking that. I am not rocking it. When I was flipping through my KetoCon pictures, I went, do you know how to smile like a human being, Dori? Like, do you know how to do that? I either have a weird look on my face or I'm smiling so big that I have no face. Like, I'm all teeth, no eyes, weird angles. I've decided I don't care. So join me in the I Don't Care Club. And I will see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. We're going to make something fun tomorrow to get over the hump. I'm thinking something fun and exciting treats. If there's anything you're dying for, let me know. Because I say fun and exciting and I don't have an idea in mind just yet. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day. And thanks so much for joining me to talk about depression and getting over body dysmorphia. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye. And it's so weird.